Hey guys, Will here, and this is the Apple Watch Series 4. It comes in either two sizes, a 40 or 44mm watch face. This is the 40mm version in stainless steel. It sits pretty well on the wrist, it's not too bulky, and the screen bezels are quite thin so you get the most out of the display. There's the digital crown wheel on the side, which has a thin red circle around the face of the button. Its haptic engine makes scrolling through apps and other functions feel accurate and responsive with a small vibration every scroll you make. Below the crown wheel is the microphone, which was moved to the opposite side of the speaker on Apple's smartwatch to prevent an issue that was occurring with echo whilst taking calls. So it's nice to see that they made that change. There's a side button below the mic, which is used for viewing recently used apps, using it for Apple Pay, powering on and off the watch, and lastly to make emergency calls. On the other side is the speaker, which has been increased in size compared to the Series 3, making it easier to hear notifications and much improved for taking calls if you're the kind of user who likes to do that. Personally, I don't, but there you go. The screen's edges are rounded to match the overall shape of the watch body, which isn't overly thick. The weight of it, I really didn't notice wearing it all day, and even going for a run or working out with it, it was super lightweight for that as well. All the previous Apple Watch bands are compatible with this one, which has this super easy change mechanism. Just hold the button down on the back and you can slide them in and out. The watch's latest software update, iOS 6, which came out in April, now lets you monitor sound in the working environment that you're in to protect your ears. You can listen to audiobooks, and you can now directly download from the App Store straight to your smartwatch. The working surface on the watch face is big enough to scroll through pictures, open external links people send you in iMessage, and even look at photos too without struggling to see everything on the screen. The text is also quite a good size, and navigating maps is really easy now. The different watch faces you can choose actually look really good on these larger OLED displays from Apple. And with other smartwatches, I wouldn't bother opening external links people had sent through iMessage. But with the Series 4, it's a pretty seamless experience. There are a range of watch faces you can customize by adding different complications to the screen. Complications meaning simple snippets of information to show in the center and outside corners of the display. One of the watch faces allows 8 complications in total, which is a lot of information on one display, maybe more than you used to. I don't mind having the extra information, but it is nice to switch between the infograph display that has all the complications on it to something more clean and simple like the Toy Story themed watch face. There's even these neat animations that different characters do by tapping the screen. A lot of creative thought went into these, and for people that have to look up this information individually, such as weather temp, activity stats, and so on, the infograph watch face has it all right there in front of you at a glance. Whilst wearing the watch, I've been switching it up between the InfoDense watch face and the new ultra minimal and very hypnotic fire, water, liquid metal faces, which interestingly are more special than Apple led on during their keynote. So these aren't digitally rendered. Instead, each of them is high resolution video shot in a studio using real fire, water, and vapor elements, which would have been really fun to make, really showing the extra detail Apple goes into with their designs. And it's really what sets them apart in the smartwatch market. So, a large display, customizable watch faces, and a seamless design are some of the reasons to pick this up. There are a number of others. My favorite are probably the health and wellness features that the watch has. It has an easy use workout app that tracks different types of exercises with a number of different stats available as you're doing them, such as heart rate, distance, calories burned, and much more. I went for a run using the workout app, and it has goals you can set for yourself, including distance, time, and even pace alerts to notify you when you're ahead or behind a set pace, like 5 minutes per kilometer, which is my average. It was nice to know when I was slowing down so I could readjust and stay more consistent. The watch felt good whilst I was running. The lightweight design meant it wasn't a burden even after doing a longer distance, and it was great to be able to see my working heart rate and distance numbers too. The riding workout was also informative, telling you your average speed, elevation gain, and distance traveled. It has these neat little animations of the exercise you're tracking at the top of the display. I took it hiking also. When I stopped to take in the scenery, it prompted me to see if I wanted to pause the workout, which is handy if you want the data from the workout to be as accurate as possible. If you're into yoga, it can track those sessions too, and you can even get prompts to get up and move around a number of times a day if you work at a desk, which we all know can be pretty unhealthy at times. It's swim proof as well, so if you're a swimmer, it's well suited for that. The sports app lets you see your calories burned, lengths, and distances, which will be tracked using the built-in accelerometer. Due to the water and how the heart rate sensor works, your heart rate likely won't be measured, so you'll need a waterproof heart rate monitor for those purposes that you can connect via Bluetooth to your Apple Watch. You can also pair up with friends who have Apple Watches too, so when you complete a workout, it notifies them and they can cheer and vice versa. So this is great for an extra bit of motivation and support while you're working out. There's also the ability to set each other challenges to complete in either a week or a month. So you've got that competitive option there as well. So health and wellness is another reason. The specs have also gotten better with an improved S4 chip that's made navigating the UI a much smoother experience compared to previous Apple Watch models. Launching Siri is now quite fast. She responds to questions quickly, and instead of the normal prompt to activate Siri, there's now raise the talk. So you raise the watch, ask it a question, and you get an answer from Siri. What's the weather like tomorrow?
It's not looking good tomorrow. Down to 7 degrees.
Pretty fast. Another way to activate Siri a little more reliably if you're not convinced about raise the talk is to hold down the digital crown wheel, ask your question and let go. What's the tallest building in the world?
Here's what I found from wikipedia.org. The tallest building in the world, as of 2020, is Burj Khalifa.
I found this was a better way even though it takes a few extra seconds. As you might have heard from those examples, the speaker on the Series 4 is much louder than previous Apple Watch models. So this makes it a lot better for using the watch for phone calls. You're able to hear what the other person is saying in much more noisy environments. If you ask Siri a lot of questions, you get her responses and notifications much more clearly too. Which brings us to the final reason you would want to pick up an Apple Watch. Starting off with some of the newer features that Apple has included on the Series 4. The first is quite retro, being a walkie-talkie that you can communicate with your friends with who also are sporting an Apple Watch. You can now use the watch to perform an electrocardiogram, or ECG, to monitor your heartbeat rhythm, which was demonstrated in the Apple product launch keynote. This feature is accessible to the US and other parts of the world, but unfortunately not yet in Australia, though it has been approved in New Zealand as of March this year, so it might be available soon, hopefully in a future software update for us Aussies. This feature alone has improved the way you can monitor your health, and already has saved lives. And fall detection, which is a super smart feature that detects if you take a tumble, slip over, or fall off a ladder. If you work out by yourself, like to go bushwalking or even distance running, it's nice to know the features there. This would also be well suited for your relatives who are a little older and despise having to wear one of those panic buttons. So the Apple Watch has a lot of great features, but there are some pain points that will have people hesitant to buy. Namely, the prohibitive cost. This costs $700 if you're in Australia, $600 if you're in the States. That's for the models that have both GPS and cellular capability. I also think the battery life could be better, currently lasting around about a day's worth, so you do need to put it on charge every night. There are a lot of other smartwatches that last a lot longer, but probably don't have the same features as an Apple Watch. And lastly, if you don't have an iPhone, the Apple Watch is pretty much unusable. It's for iPhone users only, which is all part of the Apple ecosystem, of course. However, with that said, this is probably the best smartwatch I've had the pleasure of using so far. It's great for productivity, phone calls, messaging, and it definitely stands out with all of its features related to health and fitness. If you're looking for a smartwatch and you own an iPhone, this is definitely the one to get. This one definitely gets my tick of approval. I really enjoy it, and if you're looking for a smartwatch, I think you will too. That's all from me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more tech videos in the future. See you in the next one.